Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's session where I will be covering the sweet pastimes of Damodar Leela. So Lord Damodar, interacting with his mother and being bound by her love. Please join us for Jai Radha Madhav prayers. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll start with Guru Pranati. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rāma 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 Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, dear devotees. So today we will be covering the sweet pastimes of Damodar Leela. So again, the sweet pastimes of Lord Damodar and Mother Yashoda. Now, sometimes people ask, how do we know which day it occurred? Because you are celebrating a whole month of Kartik, right? This whole month is called Damodar Maas, month of Damodar, where Bhakti is on sale, right? So just like in the material world, people, they go out during the sale time. Why do they want to go out during the sale time? Because they can get more items with less money. So here, this Damodar Maas is also glorious because with little bhakti, you get great benedictions, thousands and thousands of times more. Yet at the same time, understanding that the whole month is there, sometimes people become impatient. They want to know, why you guys always, why are devotees celebrating this simple pastime, one pastime, every day for the whole month, right? Because it gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. It's like the ocean is overflowing. We have seen the lakes overflowing, we have seen the streams overflowing, we have seen the rivers overflowing. But we in this material world don't have the perception of seeing the ocean overflowing. But when we engage in sweet pastimes of the Lord, like Damodar Leela, we experience that ocean is overflowing. This is the transcendental bliss, ocean of transcendental bliss. And it's causing us to understand the sweet interaction. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, from Vaishnava Toshini, of Srila Sanatana Goswami, he gives the incident that this pastime of Damodar Leela occurred on the day of Diwali, Deepavali, we also refer to as. Deepavali is where we light up the lamps to welcome Lord Ramchandra's coming to Ayodhya. We also call it where Lord Kṛṣṇa and his queen Satyabhama, they killed Narkasur, also referred to as Bhaumasur, son of Bhumi Devi. Now it is very interesting. So who's the father of Narkasur, right? Bhumi Devi is the mother, the presiding deity of this planet Earth. The father is Lord Varahadev. So you can imagine. So even sometimes we see that asuras occur in the very family. And so Satyabhama, who is also an expansion of Bhumi, so an ansha of Bhumi. So that way, so Satyabhama is many personalities in one. She is also referred to as Radharani in Aishwarya Bhav. She is the expansion of Radharani. And wherever Lord expands, Radharani, she expands with him. And this is where Acharyas reveal that when, without the energy, there is no meaning to energetic. And without the energetic, there is no meaning to the energy. So that's why Radharani and Lord Kṛṣṇa, they are non-different. They are one and the same. Yet at the same time, they have appeared differently to show us the loving pastimes. And she is the one who is Haladini Shakti. She is the pleasure-giving potency. So here, in this pastime, Mother Yashoda, that's another confusion. Sometimes Lord referred to Mother Yashoda binding Lord Damodar, and they think that that is Radharani binding Lord Damodar. No, that is Yashoda Mai, Mother Yashoda, you know, wife of Nand Baba, Nand Maharaj. And yes, there are pictures here. So this pastime appears in Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 9. And
chapter 9?
Yes, yes. And where is the foundation of this pastime? So again,
Canto 10.
Canto 10, part 1, chapter 9. So here, this is the origin. Why this led to the Damodar Leela, and this is where Mother Yashoda catches Lord Kṛṣṇa to bind him, and the sweet pastimes have been covered. And of course, you can see here as well as here, Lord Damodar, right? He is being bound by the love of Mother Yashoda. Now, the sweet pastime actually starts much earlier than this day, where, you know, on Deepavali, Mother Yashoda gets up early in the morning, where Gopalji, Lord Kṛṣṇa, is still sleeping. So, it just so happened that Lord Kṛṣṇa, as revealed in the earlier chapters in Srimad Bhagavatam, was once feeding Lord Kṛṣṇa, and Lord Kṛṣṇa, in a mood of yawning, he opens his mouth, and this is where he shows his universal form, to kind of like show his mother in the mood that, you know, so that she recognizes who he is. And Mother Yashoda, seeing the whole universe, and even Gokul, you know, when that yawn, when he opens his mouth, and even seeing that how she is with him, she is completely bewildered. And suddenly her mood changes from motherhood to, you know, awe and reverence. And as soon as Lord Kṛṣṇa recognizes this, he immediately, you know, invokes his Yogamaya potency, another expansion of Radharani, to cover her intelligence so that she realizes that this is just a Brahma, it's just an illusion. So she thinks of it as an illusion, but that's the reality. Lord Kṛṣṇa says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. So everything emanates from Lord Kṛṣṇa. Lord Kṛṣṇa is the cause of everything. He is the cause of all causes. And so, Mother Yashoda, her mood having changed from Vatsalya, from Mamta to awe and reverence, immediately set, you know, back with the effect of Yogamaya. And Lord Kṛṣṇa, you know, he is growing up, he is a toddler. And how is he growing up? So the sweet pastimes have been given. So when Lord Kṛṣṇa, he would, and just like has been identified, he was very eager to serve Nand Baba. So this is a picture of Lord Kṛṣṇa serving Nand Baba, you know, putting the sleepers of Nand Baba on his head when he is bringing to Nand Baba. And look the way Yashoda Mai, she is like, oh, it's so sweet. Lord Kṛṣṇa is so amazing as how he's bringing his devotee sleepers on his head, right? And his steps are still topsy-turvy, as we say sometimes. But they are very sweet, they are very melodious. Tunaka Tunaka Ramchandra, we sing those songs, right? Similarly, Lord Kṛṣṇa, he is walking like that. But Nand Baba, he actually helps Lord Kṛṣṇa to walk. So, Paurushamnishu, Lord Kṛṣṇa says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the ability in man. So, all our abilities come from Lord Kṛṣṇa. Yet at the same time, Lord is taking pleasure in having this sweet pastime where he shows to Nand Baba that he wants to walk. He tries to climb on the wall and, you know, try to hold the walls and hands of Nand Baba, legs of Nand Baba to stand up. So Nand Baba comes seeing that, oh, Kṛṣṇa wants to walk. So he bends down to hold, you know, giving his finger to Kṛṣṇa. Hold this finger, Kṛṣṇa, and then walk. And then Lord Kṛṣṇa somehow holds that. So he's showing that he is getting up, standing up, taking one step, two steps, and then losing the balance and falling again. So we have seen such pastimes, right? In the case of small children, they want to walk. And they have such strong desire to walk that they start crawling onto the wall at times. So such sweet pastimes are happening. When Lord Krishna cries, Nand Baba immediately picks him up on his lap, and kisses him, and smells his hair, his head. So that is, his reciprocation. He's feeling how beautiful Krishna is, with the sweet curly locks of hair on his face, with lotus-like eyes, and his, lips just like red, like bimba fruit, and such sweet, gestures and such sweet loving looks. Yet at the same time, Lord Krishna is showing that how he is unable to do, and Nand Baba is like, oh my dear Krishna, he's just a boy, he's just a baby, I have to take care of him. With that fatherly mood, he is embracing Krishna. So it just so happened that Lord Krishna, as he was growing up as a toddler and starting to play with some of his friends, once it so happened that he was thinking, why have I appeared? So within Krishna, all Vishnu Tattvas are there. So Vasudeva is also there within Krishna. So Vasudeva appeared to deliver the burden of the earth. And during this time, all this time since his birth, he is thinking, I haven't really helped Mother Earth in relieving the burden. I took care of Putana, yes. I took care of Shaktasura, yes. I took care of Trinavarta, yes. But not really much. I came here, my purpose was to deliver the burden of the earth. So I should relieve some of the burden of the earth. So with this mode, he picks up the dust of Gokul. Now this, Acharya has explained from Lord Vasudeva's perspective, who has appeared to deliver the burden of the earth, and then from Lord Krishna's perspective, who is thinking this is Vrindavan Raj. So to him it looks so sweet. This is the love of his devotees. This is, where Lord Krishna, he is in which place? Gokula, right? A kula where cows reside. That's the name, right? Gokula. We refer to the topmost spiritual planet as Goloka. Loka, a planet where cows reside, right? So everywhere we see Lord Krishna is glorifying, and everything seems to be connected with cows. Even Lord Brahma in Brahma Samhita, when he is praying, Chintamani prakar sadmashu kalpa vriksha laksha vrateshu surbhir abhipalayantam Lakshmi sahastra shata sambhrama sevyamanam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So he is singing that your Goloka, where the roads are paved with Chintamani, the walls of the houses, the palaces, they are paved with these touchstones. What about ruby and diamonds? They are nothing in front of this. Touchstone is like whatever you desire, it gives you. Chinta is thoughts, right? It's also anxiety, but this thoughts, whatever you desire, you get it. And the trees are kalpavriksha, desire fulfilling trees. And Lakshmi sahastra sambramya sevyamanam. You are being served by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis, so lakhs of Lakshmis. But what is Lord Krishna doing? Surbhiya vipalayantam. You are serving the cows at Goloka. So where everyone wants to serve you, Lord Krishna wants to serve the cows. So that is a sweet reciprocation of the Lord. And where, again, Gokula was also referred to as Goashta. Goashta means where at least 1 crore cows reside. So that is telling us that how many cows were there. And just Nand Baba, he himself had 900,000 cows. And when Lord Krishna would take the cows, he was given a small section. As he was growing, the number of cows were also growing, right? The cows were becoming cows, they were also growing. So Lord Krishna was given the charge to take 800,000 cows, while there were other associates who would take other cows. So this is where Lord Krishna, he picks up this dust, thinking, oh, this is the dust coming from the hoof prints of all the cows and the calves and the residents of Vrindavan. It is filled with the sweetness, and he eats it up. Lord Vasudeva, within him, he is satisfied that I have delivered, relieved some burden of this Mother Earth. And Lord Kṛṣṇa is feeling ecstasy, thinking that yes, such sweet is the pastime. So we see children, when they smell the aromatic, right after the rain, the mud has this aroma which is very attractive. We see normally small children, they're going and picking up that mud or soil and then putting in their mouth. So this is a perverted reflection in current times, or all the time, that we see the children manifesting. But who started it all? Lord Kṛṣṇa. So here, being attracted by the sweet fragrance of this. Now the Gopa boys who are playing with him and Balaramji, they immediately catch him. And then they complain to Mother Yashoda. So it is said that Mother Yashoda was the judge to make a final decision that, who is, whether Krishna has done this or not. And Balaramji is, against Lord Kṛṣṇa. So he is Adi Guru, he is always serving Lord Kṛṣṇa, but on this incident, he is against Lord Kṛṣṇa, and he has all these eyewitnesses, right? We always pay attention to the eyewitnesses. So all the eyewitnesses, all these cowherd boys, they are there. Yes, 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 we saw him picking up a handful of mud and putting in his mouth. And Mother Yashoda is worried. Why is she worried? Is she worried that all the cowherd boys are boycotting Krishna? No, she is not worried about that, because she knows everyone in Vrindavan loves Krishna. Everyone is looking to serve Krishna. They are looking. So she is not worried about that. Is she worried that Balaramji is against him being an old, elder brother? He may mistreat Krishna? Not so much, because she knows how much Balaramji loves Lord Krishna. What she is worried about is that Krishna could get sick, right? Eating mud is not good for health. So with that sweet reciprocation, she is worried, and she is saying that, what is going on? And Balaramji proves that he has eaten mud. And at that time, Mother Yashoda, thinking, oh, he has eaten mud, so she wants to take that mud out from if there is any tinge of it in his mouth. So she asks Lord Krishna to open his mouth. And this is where, when Lord Krishna opens his mouth, he shows the whole universe to Mother Yashoda, as is shown in this picture. Right? And when she sees the whole universe, all the planets in the universe, and then the planet Earth, and then on the planet Earth, Gokula, and then Gokula, she is saying that she is with Lord Krishna. And this incident is happening where Lord Krishna is, with her. She is suddenly perplexed. She understands that this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And suddenly her mood changes again back to that mood of awe and reverence, like that of Vaikunthavasi. And she is, feeling this, and Lord Krishna does not want that, because he is going to lose that sweet pastime of Mother Yashoda, with Mother Yashoda, the sweet exchange that is going on. So this is where he decides, no, I should not do this. This is the second time I have made a mistake. So he immediately invokes Yogmaya again, so that she does not remember that. She thinks that, oh, this is my lalai, this is just my illusion, just my own, my mental concoction. In my mind I am thinking that such and such is, what I am seeing. I am not really seeing this. I love him so much that I end up, creating castles in the air. So air castles are being created. So she, again, with the influence of Yogmaya, she is again back to her mood, and she is worried about him. Now, the sweet pastimes is very much related to cows, right? We talked about Gokula, Goloka, and Gokula also being called as Goashta, because at least a crore, 10 million cows, more than 10 million cows are there in Gokul. And Lord Kṛṣṇa, he would go to the Goshala, when he was starting to walk on his knees, he would go to the Goshala. And out there also, he would see the cows and the calves and so forth. And Mother Yashoda would be very worried that, he would get trampled by the hoofs, of the cows and the calves, or he may get hurt in this situation. This is very dangerous situation for Kṛṣṇa to be there, while Kṛṣṇa would go being attracted by the sweet fragrance of the cows. So there were some special cows Mother Yashoda had, to these cows she used to serve special grass. And these cows, from their bodies, there was a beautiful fragrance like lotus. The fragrance would come out from their bodies. So they were also called Padma Gandha. Gandha means fragrance, right? The smell. And Padma is lotus. So lotus-like. So they had very beautiful fragrance, just like lotus had, right? So similarly, their bodies had this beautiful fragrance, and not just their bodies, their milk would have this fragrance. So they have different kind of cows, different cows, and these cows would give this fragrant milk, and Mother Yashoda would boil the milk and give it to, feed Kṛṣṇa that milk, and Kṛṣṇa would really relish that milk. She would make yogurt from that milk, and the yogurt would also have beautiful fragrance. So sometimes acharyas say Pushpa Gandha. Pushpa Gandha means flowery fragrance. So when we think of fragrance, we remember flowers. Now in today's times, even we see that the flowers don't have fragrance. But in Goloka, the fragrance is, you could smell it from a great distance. Just like in Gajendra's pastimes, it is said that the breeze would bring the fragrance of the lotus flowers from the lake, and the whole forest would be fragrant because of that breeze, the fragrant breeze. So similarly in Vrindavan, the lotus, when the breeze would flow, it would cause the fragrance to spread all around. And Sharat Purnima time, when Rasa Leela happened, at that time, happens, it's continuously going on. So Srila Prabhupada, when once asked by one of his disciples, a devotee, that why is Lord Kṛṣṇa always playing the flute and Radharani in this pose? So Lord Kṛṣṇa says, oh, they are dancing. Once the dancing stops, everything is finished. So Ras Leela is eternally going on. And so during the Ras Leela, one of the effect is that the breeze are bringing the fragrance of various kind of flowers, including lotus flowers, And Lord Kṛṣṇa also wears Vaijayanti Mala, right? Beautiful flowers, the forest flowers, from that Vaijayanti Mala is made. And so Lord Kṛṣṇa, he would go to Goshala because of the fragrance. And then sometimes the young calves whose body was also very fragrant, they would come and smell Lord Kṛṣṇa. And in smelling Lord Kṛṣṇa's beautiful body fragrance, they would go mad and they would start jumping and dancing. So Lord Kṛṣṇa, seeing that they are dancing, he would hold on to their tails. And now because of being touched by the Lord Shiva, the fragrance caused them to dance. When the Lord is touching you, you can imagine what would happen. They start running with joy. And as they are running, Lord Kṛṣṇa would stay holding to their tails, and he would not leave them. He would enjoy being dragged all the distance. And Mother Yashoda and Nand Baba, to their heart, Kṛṣṇa is getting dragged, he's getting hurt. That's how they are feeling. And Lord Kṛṣṇa is feeling, oh, I'm rolling in this dust of, the cow, Raj, means again Vrindavan Raj. I'm, feeling the dust that's coming from the cow's hoof prints. And actually it is very healthy. When Lord Kṛṣṇa would take the calves, go for cow herding, take them to the forest, the calf hoofs, they would throw all the dust which would fall on his body, the dhuli, that is very auspicious. It is purifying, it is energizing, it is very healthy for us. So Lord Kṛṣṇa would let his full body get immersed in that Vrindavan Raj, being thrown by the hoofs of the calves and the cows. And when he would leave them, the tail, at that time Nand Baba Yashoda Mai, they would come running, seeing Nand Baba Yashoda Mai are coming before they hit the calves. Lord Kṛṣṇa cannot bear that. Of course, he would leave and the calf would quickly go back to the cowshed. And Lord Kṛṣṇa lying on the ground, completely immersed in this dhuli, would let Nand Baba and Yashoda Mai pick him up. And then, so that nothing bad happens, he is given a bath by the cow urine, that is purifying all auspicious. And after giving him bath with cow urine, he was given tilak made of cow dung, which is bringing all auspiciousness. So everywhere we see the importance of cows, the sweet pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna. And Bilva Mangal Thakur, he glorifies Lord Krishna, that he is saying that even with the mowing of the cows, you reciprocate in the calves' sound, reciprocating them, giving them responses when they are calling out for you. But at the same time, when all at the Yajna Sthali, at the sacrificial arena, when these sages are chanting all these mantras, you stay quiet. You're just listening to them. You don't reciprocate. When you have been called forth by the cows who want to, be near you, you embrace them. Yet at the same time, all these demigods who are gathered and all the sages, you just raise your hands and just say, so be it, tathastu. And so it is very interesting that how acharyas are explaining that Surbhi Apipalyantam, this characteristic of Lord Krishna wanting to serve the cows of Goloka, of Gokula, of Vrindavan. He is constantly looking to serve them. So it just so happened that on the day of Diwali, Mother Yashoda has sent out all the maid servants on different kind of tasks within the house. And she woke up early because she wanted to do something. And why she wanted to do is also very important. It just so happened that as Lord Krishna had become, suitable enough to start walking and going out to play with his friends, one of his main activity was stealing butter. Because everybody who would, prepare butter, yogurt at their homes, nice, fragrant, all the gopis, all the elderly gopis, they were constantly thinking of Krishna. Having seen Krishna once, the case is finished. So this is where a gopi says to another gopi, oh my dear friend, do not go to Vrindavan, especially on the bank of Yamuna, because there lives a beautiful boy by the name Krishna who's playing out his flute. And if you see him, then everything is finished. So if you desire to enjoy this material life with your family, with your children, with your husband, and have sensual pleasure, don't go there. Because then all your business that you are seeking to enjoy in this material world is finished. So this is for the materialist. If you want to enjoy, don't come to Krishna. But then if you come to Krishna, then you will be immersed in the transcendental bliss, which is like overflowing ocean of transcendental bliss, of happiness, while the material happiness of sense gratification is like a drop of water. So here, all the gopis would prepare these pots of butter and they will hang it at a great distance, right, above from the ground. And Lord Krishna would, encourage his friends to join him, and Lord Balaram would join him. And they would go to different houses and they would steal the butter. And not just steal the butter, they would break the pot so the butter would flow down. And he would give handfuls to all the, monkeys and other, living entities and so forth. So everyone was completely enjoying. Yet at the same time, the gopis, the elderly gopis would come to who? Mother Yashoda. They would say, oh, Mother Yashoda, your son, this Krishna, he is very naughty. He steals our butter. So they are glorifying Lord Krishna. This is a sweet pastime. They are actually preparing their heart like that, sweet butter. And they want Lord to taste that butter, to Lord to taste that sweet mellow of their heart, the sweetness, that they carry, that prema, right, that love of Godhead. And when Lord tastes, then they glorify him by complaining to Mother Yashoda that he is coming like this. And Mother Yashoda is feeling so embarrassed, right? Nand Baba is the king, right, of Vrindavan. She is the queen. And if the associates come who serve you and complain about your own children, it is very shameful to hear this. So Mother Yashoda, he would say, no, my Krishna cannot do that. I serve him such nice milk and so forth. But then the question may be raised, that is what she's serving really so sweet that Krishna doesn't have to go outside? When Krishna is going outside means she has to work harder. So she would take great care of these Pushpagandha cows, Padmagandha cows, feeding them this special dhoop, the special grass, so that the fragrant milk is there, and she would make all these preparations. And when she would still get the complaints, she would be perplexed. So there are various kind of complaints that would come. Once there was a gopi, she caught Krishna, and she said, I'll take you to Mother Yashoda. She keeps asking that, have you really seen Krishna? Because he's at home, he's sleeping in his bed. So this time I caught you, I'll take you. So Lord Krishna says, don't take me, you are going to regret this. So at that time Gopi said, no, I have to prove to her that I caught you. And so she takes Krishna with her, and she tells Yashoda, see, I caught Krishna stealing butter. And Mother Yashoda is saying, what do you mean? She says, I caught him, see, here it is. And when she looks down, who does she see? She sees her own son, in her hands. So she is perplexed. And now as she is walking back with her son, and Mother Yashoda is smiling, saying she brought her son, saying that this is Krishna. And all the other maid servants and the other elderly cowherd ladies, please, they were all, smiling, all the gopis and all the cowherd boys, that she brought her own son, and saying that this is Krishna. So while she is walking back, suddenly she sees down, because she sees someone laughing hard, right? And this is, who is laughing? She looks down, and this is Krishna. She is really holding on to Krishna. So she says, oh, I should take you back. He says, no, you don't want to make that mistake, because next time I may manifest as your husband. And she is so perplexed, she let go of Kanha. And gopis, they knew that Lord Krishna likes butter and the sweet made of, this milk. So they would make Krishna, they would say, oh Krishna, why don't you dance, and we'll give you this sweet, I will give you the butter. And Lord Krishna would dance. And his vaja would be to get that butter. But his true vaja was the sweetness of that exchange of all these gopis clapping their hands, singing as he is dancing, looking at him with these loving eyes, and Lord Krishna, he would be dancing. So this is why sometimes it's said that, we all dance, and Lord Krishna's desire, yes. But on the desire of gopis and the desire of the cows, Lord Krishna dances. So such sweet are his pastimes. And everyone is laughing and clapping. It's such wonderful. Iti Driksva Leela Bhirananda Kunde. So at the end of this session, we'll also do Damodar Ishtakam. So we'll sing along. So again, please sing along. So here, such sweet pastime is going on. And Mother Yashoda, so she is preparing such beautiful pastime. And if you want to offer a lamp, please, get your lamps ready. So near the end of the class, when we sing Damodar Ishtakam, it is a very auspicious time where you offer the lamp to the Lord Shiva with that sweet, loving exchange, that sweet understanding that Lord is so merciful that he allows himself to be bound by the love of his devotees. Dam, Udar. Dam is rope, Udar is stomach. So the Lord's stomach is bound by the rope of, this is a soft rope that Mother Yashoda uses, but it's truly her love that she is binding Lord Krishna with. And so here Lord Krishna, he is showing with his pastimes, and Mother Yashoda is constantly worried. So this is Diwali day. So during the day, Gopalji, Lord Krishna, is still sleeping. And Mother Yashoda, she collects this Pushpagandha milk, places some to, on the stove to, to boil, so that it can be ready when Gopal, her baby, Lord Krishna, he wakes up. At that time, she can feed him. And she decides to make some nice sweet butter with the yogurt she had prepared from this Padmagandha milk. So she has this pot of yogurt, and she is churning with the rod. And as she is churning, she is remembering the sweet walking, sweet pastimes of Lord Kṛṣṇa. And so remembering this, she starts singing his glories. And as soon as she starts singing, remembering the sweet form of Lord Kṛṣṇa, his sweet activities, the mother from the milk from her breast, they starts using out. So this is her love manifesting in this form. As Mother Yashoda, she is singing and the milk is coming. Lord Kṛṣṇa, he is always eager to taste the love of his devotees. Even Mother Devahuti, when having this conversation with her own son, Lord Kapil Dev, who is an incarnation of Lord Kṛṣṇa, she is saying that when in the material universe you manifest in the form of Mahavishnu, you actually take your own toe and put it in your mouth, because you want to taste what is this sweetness, what is this ecstasy that the devotees are taking, by taking shelter of your lotus feet. So the sweetness is something Lord wants. So Lord Kṛṣṇa, he walks his topsy-turvy way. And rubbing his eyes, he comes in front of Mother Yashoda, and what does he do? The first thing he does is holds the rod, the churning rod, because the churning rod is rotating, right? It's revolving. So again, as it's revolving, now that revolution has been, has been stopped, and that's not the revolt revolution, but the movement of the rod is stopped, and he is saying, "Oh Mother, my Yashoda, I am very hungry." So, seeing that Kṛṣṇa is very hungry, Mother Yashoda, "Oh, my Lala is very hungry." She immediately picks him up, puts him on his lap, and starts feeding her milk to Kṛṣṇa. And as soon as she is feeding her milk to Kṛṣṇa, what is happening? The milk on the stove is now thinking. Now in Goloka, in Vrindavan, everything is alive, everything is consciousness. So the milk is thinking, "Oh, Mother Yashoda is going to feed Kṛṣṇa, so what is the use of my existence? I should better commit suicide." So it starts boiling and jumping into the fire of the stove. And when we hear that, milk or any liquid that falls on fire, it makes that just sound. And as soon as Mother Yashoda hears the sound of milk burning on the stove, she places Lord Kṛṣṇa away and immediately rushes to save the milk, right, from committing this, from boiling out of the pot. And after having taken care, what has happened? Lord Kṛṣṇa, he is angry. So he is showing that I was just relishing in the middle. My mother, Mother Yashoda, she dropped me on the ground. She left me alone and taking care of that milk, which was meant to serve me. He's in that mood. He is clutching his lips with his teeth. So again, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, he shares that this is where Lord Kṛṣṇa is teaching us that the lower lips, the reddishness is in the mode of passion, like his lips are red as bimba fruit. So we can control mode of passion with the mode of goodness. The teeth are white, and white represents mode of goodness. And so here it's teaching us that by coming to the level of mode of goodness, it is easy to transcend. We can quickly, because cleanliness is next to godliness. So we can quickly transcend the modes of material nature by engaging. So again, such sweet pastimes are going on, and what does Lord Kṛṣṇa does? He's in anger. He wants to show. Sometimes, you want to show that you are angry. How do you show? So Lord Kṛṣṇa picks up a rock and stone and hits the pot which was being churned, where the yogurt was. The yogurt was being churned, and the pot breaks away. And now it spreads on the ground. And to show that, yes, I have done this, Lord Kṛṣṇa, he steps through the flowing yogurt and butter that was also, some butter was formed. So his steps are now wet with all that yogurt and butter, and he's walking out of the room. And where is he going? He's like, "Okay, I know, Mother, you have kept some sweet butter for me already. I'm going to taste that butter." So he arranges, urukula, he puts that mortar upside down, and then he climbs on top of it to get to the pot. And as he's getting to the pot, he's constantly watching that Mother Yashoda would come at any moment, right? because he just realizing that Mother Yashoda will see the pot and she may be angry, with this. And she is picking out the butter from this pot and feeding it to the monkeys and eating it. All the Gopa boys are seeing, and they are like laughing that this is what is going on. And at that time, Mother Yashoda, after taking care of the milk, she comes back, and what does she see? Oh, the pot, carrying the butter and yogurt, it has been broken, the churning pot, and Lord Krishna's steps are walking out. Oh, this must be Krishna's doing. She can see, so she picks up a stick. So sometimes parents, they want to discipline. Now this is again very interesting. Fathers, they are normally on the side of disciplining, and mothers are on the side of pampering. But in today's times, kids get more attached to fathers because fathers are more sporting and mothers are more disciplining, because fathers have given up their job of discipline and they want to just play with the kids. So mothers have to take that discipline aspect. So again, Mother Yashoda, she picks up a stick and goes out looking for Krishna. And as soon as Lord Krishna sees with the corner of his eyes that Mother Yashoda is coming, he immediately jumps down. Now this time he cannot use the excuse he had given previously. It just so happened that previously, when Lord Krishna had arranged the Urukula and he was eating butter at that time, it just so happened that all the pillars and the walls, they were bedecked with jewels. So in the reflection, suddenly Lord Krishna saw his reflection and he immediately got scared, seeing his own reflection. And he, looking at his reflection, he says, "Oh, who are you? You have seen me stealing butter, but don't tell Mother Yashoda. I will give you butter. Don't tell Mother Yashoda." So he's talking to his own reflection in that mood. And when Mother Yashoda comes and catches him, with his, taking out butter from the pot, so he says, no, but Mother, it is not me. He handed me. He is the one. He's pointing to his own reflection, saying that this boy, he is the one who's actually stealing butter. He just happened to have given me some. Another incident is where he was, he had somehow escaped. He was at a distance from the pot, and Mother Yashoda said, "Oh, Govinda, oh Gopal, you are eating butter." He hides his hands in the back, holding butter. And this pastime has happened again and again, because it's so sweet that Lord Krishna, he has his hands in butter, his face is smeared with butter, and Mother Yashoda is saying, "Oh Krishna, you are eating butter, you are stealing butter." And he is saying, "Maiya mori, main nahi makhan khayo." He is saying, "No Mother, I have not eaten butter." This is all the dealing of Balaramji. And as he picks it out, what is he doing? He is pointing to his own hand, which is holding the butter. He's cut right there. So again, such sweet pastimes are constantly going on. He actually gets Lord Balaramji also in trouble. Once, not once, many times, where Mother Yashoda starts believing that it is Balaram who's feeding butter to Krishna, and then Krishna is getting punishment. Actually, it's Balaram who is actually likes butter and he steals butter. And the cowherd ladies, all the gopis, elderly gopis, they were basically saying that these Krishna and Balaram, when they go inside a room, I think they are wearing these jewels which causes everything to brighten up. So there is no darkness and they can see the pots very easily. And with their friends they enjoy, and they bring the pots and they scatter all the butter and the yogurt on the floor and they enjoy, and then they run away stealing the butter. So Mother Yashoda, with the stick, as she approaches, Lord Krishna jumps down from the Urukula and he's running from the grinding mortar. He's running, and Mother Yashoda is running right off behind Lord Shri Krishna. And it is said that she runs faster. Now Acharyas, just on this running, they have given great commentaries. When Mother Yashoda is running, they are saying the yogis are constantly running after the Lordship and they cannot catch him. But Mother Yashoda, she is able to catch because of her love, because of that sweet pastime. Lord Krishna agrees, and Lord Krishna is running in fear. So even Queen Kunti is saying that, "My dear Lord, fear personified is afraid of you. Yet at the same time, it is amazing, it is unbelievable, it is inconceivable that you are running in fear from this gopi." She doesn't name Yashodamai, but that's what is been explained by the Acharyas in this pastime, that it is Mother Yashoda who's running to catch Kṛṣṇa with a stick in her hand. And he is thinking, I'm going to get a beating today. Right? This is little over the edge. So, and he's running with this. And Acharyas explain beautiful pastimes with Mother Yashoda. She's a heavy-set woman, right? She's a heavy-set lady, and she has all these flowers, and so as she's running, her garments are becoming loose, and the flowers are becoming loose. And the feeling of flowers have been explained. Some flowers are thinking, oh, Mother Yashoda is trying to catch Kṛṣṇa. She has a stick in her hand. We don't want to be part of this offense. This is a great offense. So they're in this mood of awe and reverence, and they are saying, I don't want to be part of this. So they are jumping away, on the side. They are abandoning her. Some flowers are thinking, oh, this Kanha, this Kṛṣṇa is so naughty. He gives trouble to all the Vrajvasis all the time. Well, we should let Mother Yashoda catch him, and our weight should not cause, we should not be burdened on her body, so she feels light and she can quickly catch him. So they are jumping out of her hair and, from her garlands and various kind of flower, ornaments that she's wearing, thinking that we should help Mother Yashoda. And some are so eager, they said, okay, we are going to go one step further. We are going to catch Kṛṣṇa first so that Mother Yashoda can catch him. So they are jumping in the direction of Kṛṣṇa, trying to catch him. Flowers are jumping to catch Kṛṣṇa. They are saying, we are going to catch, so then, we'll catch for Mother Yashoda. This Kṛṣṇa, this baby Kṛṣṇa, he is so naughty. So in these various feelings, again, there are various feelings, and how Mother Yashoda means she's catching, and all the flowers are sometimes trying to be afraid in awe and reverence, or even helping her. And Mother Yashoda is able to catch Kṛṣṇa. And she catches Kṛṣṇa and she brings him to Urukula. So like, okay, these two partners should get punished equally. And so Urukula is the grinding mortar where you place the pot and then you churn. So Urukula is where, he had put it upside down and then climbed on top of it. So she decides that she is going to, give them, punishment, like we normally call it time out. And why is Mother Yashoda giving this time out to Kṛṣṇa? Because she does not want Kṛṣṇa to get hurt. Kṛṣṇa is so naughty. He goes into Goshala, and it is so scary. He gets pulled by the calves when he catches their tail, and they are always afraid that he will be trampled. And there are so many demons appearing from all over the place, nowhere, people are surprised. So she doesn't want Kṛṣṇa to be, hurt, while she takes care of all the affairs and then finally, take care of Kṛṣṇa. So she decides to bind Kṛṣṇa to Urukula. And as she is there with a stick in her hand near Urukula, she sees that Kṛṣṇa is crying, and his, the tears are flowing from his eyes, and his throat is like, vibrating because of that siski, right? Because of that sobbing, right? Sobbing, yeah. So she immediately realizes, she immediately places the stick on the side, that my Kanha should not feel that, scared because of the stick. He's very scared, he's very much in fear, and oh my God, if he feels so much fear, what happens if he runs away from home, right? That's another fear mothers get, that what happens if my Lala runs away from home? I want to feed him, I want to give him what he wants, yet at the same time I need to secure him. With this thought, she gets a soft rope, and she gets this soft rope and she's trying to bind Kṛṣṇa, but every time it comes around, it is short by 2 fingers. So she gets more, she goes and gets more rope from the house, and she's tying it to this rope, and every time she comes around, it's short by 2 fingers. Now she's really perplexed. How could it be? My Lala could easily be bound with a small rope, right? She every day ties dhoti on Lord Kṛṣṇa, binds him with clothes and makes him, she dresses him up. Never such issue was coming, but this is where she is actually trying to bind Kṛṣṇa, who is unlimited, with something that is limited, with a rope. And now the gopis, the elderly gopis are there, and the cowherd boys are there, they are all smiling, they are getting ropes for Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda is perspiring profusely, she's sweating. Yes, she's, and adding more and more ropes, and every time it comes around, it's shot by 2 fingers. And now she's smiling, she's perplexed, she's feeling, how could it be happening? My Lalla, my Kṛṣṇa, my Kanha, he's so small, he's such a baby that it should not take so long. Now Acharyas explain why the distance of 2 fingers. These 2 fingers represent, the first finger represents our endeavor, devotees' endeavor. That how lovingly, how affectionately, how we engage in serving Lord Shri Krishna. And the second finger is how Lord Krishna's causeless mercy. So it is because of the causeless mercy and our endeavor that we can bind Krishna. And finally, Lord Krishna, seeing Mother Yashoda doing this hard labor and feeling tired, he allows himself to be bound by the ropes. And when she is able to bind, so that is Damodar Leela. So again, this particular pastime happened to have, it appears that it has just finished, but no, this is just the beginning. As Mother Yashoda, having bound Lord Damodar, she walks inside the palace to take care of all the mess that was created, right? So here, Mother Yashoda, when she has gone inside, Lord Krishna, he starts to pull that grinding mortar, Urukula. And he is pulling Urukula in the courtyard, and suddenly he remembers the words of Devashi Narad. Devashi Narad once, while visiting, Lord Shiva, which is in the Kailash Parvat region, there's a lake, right? And in that lake, because Kuvera's sons, Nal Kuvera and Manigriva, they were devotees of Lord Shiva. They were enjoying, once they got completely intoxicated, and with Apsaras, they were enjoying in this lake. And they were not even taking care that their bodies were naked. And when Devashi Narad was passing by, the Apsaras and the celestial ladies, they immediately saw Devashi Narad, so they covered their bodies. But these 2 brothers were so much intoxicated that they did not care of his presence. They continued to act in that state. So at that time, Devashi Narad cursed them that you will become like trees, because when you have naked bodies, you show your bodies to others, and that's what happens. You want to show your bodies and your limbs and everything, so you become trees in your next life. So this curse is there. Now as soon as they heard the curse, they immediately recognized the mistake they have made, so they immediately asked for forgiveness. So at that time, being compassionate to the living entities, Devashi Narad said, okay, you will become trees, but you will become these trees, the urgent trees, in Nand Baba's courtyard. And so you will be there for 100 years, and then Lord Krishna himself, he will deliver you, so that you will regain your current position, your position as sons of Kuvera. So hearing this means, again afterwards they became the trees. So Lord Krishna, he was going in one direction, but remembering his promise to the curse of Devashi Narad, the boon along with that curse, that these urgent trees, and urgent trees are as high they are above the ground, twice they are below the ground. So they are very strong trees. They can stand for a long time. He sees these 2 trees, and remembering his devotees' words, he changes his direction. So even Lord Krishna, he changes his direction to satisfy the words of his devotees. That is why it is a great blessing for us to take shelter at the lotus feet of his devotees. That's why in this Kali age, it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vaishnava Seva, Nam Ruchi, Jiva Daya. These 3 things are true dharma. And of course, chanting of the holy name is the dharma for the Kali age, the sacrifice for the Kali age, yajna for the Kali age. So that's why we take shelter at the lotus feet of Vaishnavas, the exalted Vaishnavas who have dedicated their life in serving Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna, he brings, so he passes from the middle of the trees, but the Urukula is attached, it's stuck behind the trees. Lord Krishna is bound by a soft rope, but it is in touch with the Supreme, Infinite, the absolute truth, Lord Krishna. So even the rope is unbreakable at this moment. The Urukula is unbreakable. And Lord Krishna, with a small jerk, he brings down both the trees. They fall crashing onto the grounds. And the cowherd boys, they are watching this, they are surprised. And when such big trees, they crash onto the ground, of course, tumultuous sound occurs. And Nanda Baba and the cowherd man, Mother Yashoda, Ma Yashoda, and all the cowherd ladies, everybody, the whole Vrindavan seems to be gathering at that place. What happened? What happened? And at that time, everyone's saying that the two trees have crashed onto the ground and Lord Krishna is right in the middle of them. But before they came, Nalkuver and Manigrivati appeared, right? And that's what the cowherd boys explain. So here they are saying, who caused it? They are always worried about some demon appearing and hurting Lord Krishna. So they were able to see that Lord Krishna is there. Immediately Nand Baba, he picks up Lord Krishna, frees him from the rope and picks up in his arms, and he's embracing him, in his goad, he is holding him close to his chest. So vriksha, right? So again, he is very much close. When something is very dear to you, we keep it close to your chest, to your heart. It's close to your heart. So Nand Baba is smelling Lord Krishna, is keeping him close. And when Krishna says Yashodama, he points to finger, like as if crying, like she is the one who bound me. You got to punish her. She is the one. She is the one. And Nand Baba looks at Yashodama, and Yashoda, my heart is breaking. That she was the cause. You can imagine the sweetness of the pastime. And she is so worried, her tears are flowing from her eyes as she comes close by again, being purified by the chanting of the mantras by the Brahmanas, being washed by the, and Mother Yashoda immediately holds Krishna and feeds him milk. And now Krishna is happy. So this is where it started with Lord Krishna trying to taste the sweet, nectarian, sweet, milk of love of Mother Yashoda. So this love is what he is hankering for, and now he is feeling satisfied. This is where truly, Damodar Leela ends. And when Nand Baba is trying to figure out with all the Upananda, his brother, and all the other cowherd men, what was the cause, the young cowherd boys are saying, actually it was Krishna who pulled on Urukula and it was able to bring down, and we saw two golden personalities appear from these trees, and they were singing prayers to Krishna, and they were circumambulating them, and suddenly they went in the sky and they vanished. But nobody believes them. Why? Because who believes children's talks? They make all kind of talks. This is the thought of Nand Baba and all the cowherd men. But they, on the very next day of Diwali, after having celebrated Diwali and seeing that Krishna is safe and sound, that he is nicely fed, is nicely taken care of, they gather together, and then this is the moment they decide to go to Vrindavan. So part of this Damodar Mass, that Leela happens in Vrindavan. So this is where this pastime, the sweet pastime, it's eternally going on. There are also many other sweet explanations and sweet. So this pastime is not that it happened once and then it stopped. This is a pastime Lord Krishna wants to experience again and again. In another instance, Acharyas revealed that Mother Yashoda, she was trying to bind him. It was always coming short by 2 fingers. And she was thinking what to do. And suddenly she sees that Lord Krishna is wearing Tulsi Mala, right? So at that time, she immediately takes that Tulsi Mala out and then binds it to the rope. So in this particular pastime, Tulsi is a devotee of the Lord and her love is pure. And now as soon as she is using Tulsi and she is the mother, Yashoda, together they bind Lord Krishna. So that's another pastime where it has been explained that how Mother Tulsi becomes the associate of Mother Yashoda in binding Lord Krishna. So that is the sweet pastime. So please join us for Damodar Ashtakam. It will be a sing-along, not call and response. And those who want to offer the lamps, please keep your lamps ready. Can you get me the Hare Krishna? श्री राधा दामोदर की जय, दामोदर लीला स्वीट पास टाइम की जय, यशोदा माई की जय, लॉर्ड कृष्णा की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा।